Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show. And now, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Andrew.
Hey! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Jeremy and Andrew Show.
Hi.
That's Jeremy H. I'm Andrew G. Happy Monday. We love you guys.
We like you guys. We don't love you.
I didn't even say in the last episode to share, like, and subscribe because you should be doing that anyway. But yeah, welcome back. We have a great episode for you guys. It's going to be very stand-up comedy packed.
Yeah.
For example, we recently saw two very, very funny comedians locally, and one of them's actually right from Pottstown, which is, you know, your hometown, Sydney Gant.
Yeah, not only is he from Pottstown, you know, I shared a lunch table with this guy. We used to bust balls, you know, talk about girls. He would actually fornicate with the girls. None for Jeremy.
No, he did not leave any leftovers for Jeremy.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, do you think that he was always just naturally funny? Like he was always making class clown, like making everybody laugh all the time? Okay.
Yeah, he's bombastic, like ball of energy that you see today. That was him 25 years ago.
Yeah, there's a really good, I like the Are You Garbage podcast.
Yeah.
With H. Foley and Kevin Ryan. Both local guys. Sydney Gant was on there. He did a lot of, he talked about Pottstown, and he talked about his mom. She used to be involved in like street fight, well, not street fights. I mean, it was basically underground organized fighting for money.
Yeah.
And she was a badass, apparently.
And I watched that podcast, and I'm thinking to myself, we might as well be living on different planets, you know. Like there's a couple miles from where I lived and where he lived. It's just big fucking difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that one block, you know, kind of makes a difference.
Oh, it's more than that, but
a little bit more than that. But in the sense of like, especially in the city, like Philly, like one block, it's all family, residential, no problem. You make kind of one wrong turn, you could be in a bad spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I lived the east end of town, the nice end of town. And I think he grew up, what's the best way to describe it? The war zone.
Where your mom has to fight in underground fights to survive.
Yeah, my mom didn't have to do that. She was a bus driver.
There you go. She was just dealing with little pricks.
Yeah, she was.
Another person that we got to see, Brian Holtzman. Holy fucking shit, dude.
Yeah.
What an experience to see Brian Holtzman live. It was unbelievable.
I've never heard of Brian Holtzman. I don't know what he does, so this was a treat for me.
Well, we've talked about it before. You don't necessarily watch a lot of stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You kind of, you know, you like to perform, and you don't want to be influenced much by anybody.
Exactly.
So you kind of stay away from it. I'm kind of the other way around. Like, I am constantly watching specials and podcasts, and I'm always watching, like, what everybody's doing and trying to stay up to date with it. So I've seen Brian Holtzman before. Like, I've seen him on Kill Tony, and that's probably where I've seen him the most. I did see him right after we saw him. He was on Stand Up on the Spot with Jeremiah Watkins. We talked about that before. We plugged that show. I fucking love that. That's on actually twice a month on Mondays. So, like, you can catch our show, and then you can actually catch that a lot of times, Stand Up on the Spot, like, right after our show. And it's well worth watching. But it was cool because we saw Brian Holtzman on Saturday. Then I saw him on Monday multiple times. Saw him on Kill Tony. He did the New Year's Eve special. I never laughed so hard so much in my life. I really don't think I did. He had me... I was literally crying and laughing into my hoodie at one point.
Oh, yeah. There were some moments where I thought I was going to let out a little bit of pee.
And, you know, it's interesting because, like, we've talked about this before too on the podcast, where it comes down to comedy, usually like truth, right? Truth is generally where like comedy lies. And in what Holtzman was saying, even though it was so extreme and you knew it was being wacky and like, you know, you knew not to take him seriously, there was some truth in it in the sense that like we're just human beings and like this stuff is funny. Like it's just fucking funny.
You ladies out there will stay in your fucking lane this year. Stop doing men shit, bitch. Why are you even in the fucking gym lifting fucking weights? Get out of the gym, you fucking bitch! Why do you want to do men shit? If I have to turn on the television one more time and see some dyke, 40-ish fucking dyke, telling me about the football game, I'm up to here with it! What the fuck do you know about football, bitch? They're moving chains, they're fucking up in the booth, they're on the field. Lay on your back and just take it. Get your hair done, get your nails done, lay on your back and get fucked. What's wrong with that?
Well, he's old school. He's in his 60s. Like, do we expect him to, like, you know, mirror the woke, you know, the woke talking points of a 25-year-old? Go fuck yourself.
I'd like to go back and see some of his comedy if it's out there from when he first started, though. Like, I'd love to see him as a young comic. Because, I mean, that transition from him probably being a young comic to what he is now, it's got to be vast. I don't imagine he was doing that right off the bat. You know what I mean? Unless that was just his style. But, I mean, this dude, he is unbelievable. I mean, he's just... I don't even know how to describe it. Go back, I mean, look up Brian Holtzman. Go look up Brian Holtzman and just watch some of his...
And he's had to be doing comedy for like 40 years.
And you're not going to... He doesn't have a special out there. I don't think he has a special. You're not going to see a Brian Holtzman 1 hour special.
Like you might...
You're going to see like, you know, he does a 15-minute set here and a 30-minute set there and, you know, like...
Like you might find something from like 1987 on Showmax or Showtime. Fuck.
You took Showtime and Cinemax and just put them together?
Yes, I did.
Nice. That's hot.
Showmax.
You just scissored Showtime and Cinemax.
Where you'll find this podcast. Showmax.
Hey, this is a lazy eye production, motherfuckers. Don't you forget it. So yeah, we really got to watch some great comics. Got to give a shout out to Chris Reynolds and Jesse Marchese. I mean, those guys from the Crumb Show. They were on the Dirty Show with Sidney Gant. They did an awesome job. They've done a couple Dirty Shows now, and those guys are funny, man.
Chris is he's probably my favorite out of the Crumb Show guys.
He's very, very funny. He's got some really, really cleverly written jokes, and when he goes up and he does them very blasé. But I love his style. His style is excellent. It fits him very well. I mean, it's his personality, but like...
Yeah, he just sits on a stool.
Yeah. I guess I'll tell you some jokes. Yeah.
I guess I'm here. I will try to make you laugh type of deal.
Yeah, and Jesse's hilarious, too. I like to hear... he was getting into a story at the one open mic about Thanksgiving. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas, and he was... I don't want to give out too much stuff with that, you know, what they say, but... You know, he was getting into some stuff in his family, and oh my god, it was... I could tell, like, it's going to be really fucking good. But I haven't heard him talk about it since, so if you're listening, make sure you keep breaking that shit down.
They're both very new, like a year in, and they're probably a little better than they should be.
They're very good.
The challenge of Chris is he has his, like 5-10 minute that he started with. It's that next 5 minutes. Where you just throw everything out and start over.
Yeah, he's pieced in some new stuff. You know, he's pieced in a couple new things which have been very funny. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to like totally just be like, all right, here's my new 5 minutes. I started off doing that, and I've tried to kind of do that consistently, and then pick out what was best. But when the person that owns the club is there, you go back to your best 5 minutes.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Anytime there's a crowd, I'm bringing out the A+ shit.
Yeah, and you have to. And I think all comics, we all have that. You have the stuff that you've been doing for a while, like the back of your hand, and then you have the stuff that is kind of there. It's pretty funny. It's gotten some laughs before, and then you have the new stuff that's really kind of untested. But it's fun. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen them, Sydney Gant, Brian Holtzman, check them out. Check out the Crumb Show podcast, and come see a show.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Anyway, let's get into George Carlin. He's back from the dead.
I'm glad.
He's glad he's dead. So if you haven't seen it, George Carlin is dead, and there's a special that's been put out of an AI generation of it's
an AI stand-up special.
It's hard to say it. It is an AI stand-up special. That's the best way, most simplest way to say it. But there's this software, Dudesy, and Dudesy basically says, hey, this is my impression of George Carlin. I'm an AI bot. This is my impression of George Carlin if he was alive today. That didn't go over well with George Carlin's estate. His daughter's suing. And I don't blame her. I mean, you have this Taylor Swift AI porn stuff, and you have this George Carlin thing. Personally, I'm for the AI porn more than I am for the George Carlin thing. But like, where your thoughts lie on this whole thing? You got to see some of that special. Special.
I get it that the family wants to control George's legacy, and they are the only people making money off of George. But I don't know. Just be cool about it,
Yeah, I don't know. I think they would have been cooler about it had they been approached about it ahead of time.
Yeah.
You have to bring people in on stuff like that. You can't just say, hey, we're going to take your father's legacy. We're going to go out. We're going to AI generate his voice, his tone, his style. I mean, there's a couple things in there that are, it's Carlin. It's very Carlin-esque. The way that they list like the types of cancer.
It's all bullshit. If he gets credit for the good stuff, then he's got to take the blame for the bad stuff too. You can't thank him for curing your cancer when he was the one that gave it to you in the first place. And don't forget, before he gave you cancer, he had to fucking invent it. What kind of a sick fuck dreams up cancer? And why so many kinds? Skin cancer, blood cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, kidney cancer, pancreatic cancer, liver cancer, lung cancer, and my personal favorite, rectal cancer. Dropping a golf ball-sized tumor in your brain doesn't quite do it for the old man anymore. He has to fuck you in the ass, too.
That I'll try to put a little clip up of that, but that is very much what Carlin would have done,
Not all the bits hit, but enough of them.
It is funny. It is a funny thing. And I don't know if it was all completely AI generated or if it was... I mean, I guess it's still technically AI generated, but I have also heard like Will Sasso, and I don't know who the other guy that does the podcast with Will Sasso is. I'm sorry. I know a lot of shit, but I don't know that. But apparently they're the ones that have this like whole dudesy thing, which I don't understand that. Like, you're Will Sasso, you're an actor, you're a comedian, you're from Mad TV. Like, what are you doing putting out AI generated anything? That's weird to me. But yeah, I mean, they may have written some of it as Carlin and then put it into this voice generator. I don't know the whole background. If they did that, it's a little bit better, I think.
But you definitely need permission from the estate of George Carlin.
Absolutely. Yeah, right off the bat. I mean, you're using his name. You're saying his name. And then obviously the whole likeness of the whole special is him. But
Yeah, I threw out the idea of doing like an AI Patrice.
yeah, we talked about it.
Now I'm glad that like we never went through with it. Just it seems like just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be that hard. You know, there could you could do a Patrice and a Norm Macdonald, and I mean, there's a lot you go in and do, but at the end of the day, I mean, their legacy and their imprint is there, and you can go back and you can watch the things that they've done. You don't need to artificially create something. I mean, that's just as bad as rebooting every fucking movie under the sun. Like, let's be original here. Can we be original? Can we make a porn that hasn't happened yet?
Has there been a porn that hasn't happened yet?
Space porn. Fucking on the moon. They could have done it. Roman Polanski could have pulled that shit off. Come on.
Let's see. I saw like a porn clip where they're fucking like while parachuting tandem. That's been done.
What about the like the Sky Zone? Just like kind of blows you in the air.
Oh, I'm sure that's been done.
That's probably been done. If not videotaped, I know you employees out there doing it after dark. You know what I mean? After the place closes.
Yeah.
You hop on in there.
Yeah, come on in here, whore. I don't know why it had to be a prostitute and not somebody in a loving relationship.
No, it would be a whore. If you're doing that, you fucking wild. Talk about a blowjob.
Hey-o.
Hey.
Right,
Speaking of comedy, Norm Macdonald, or I do that every time. Why do I do that every time?
Because his last name is Norman.
I know, but it happens too much. I gotta fix that. Something in my in the simulation is fucking up my
and
brain
plus you've had a
chemistry.
couple of libations.
Yeah, I usually do that when I've been drinking a little bit. And this for me is drinking a lot because I haven't drank all fucking year here. Mark Norman. His set was interrupted in New York. He was on stage. We'll put a little clip up. And basically he's on stage doing his set, and randomly this like guy comes up on the stage, and he looks like he kind of looks like Ali G. A little bit like Ali G, if I'm going to be honest. Something along those lines. A very toned down version of Ali G. Comes on stage, and Mark Norman's kind of like trying to make jokes, and he's like, oh, what's going on? He kind of talks about Jews in the tunnel. He talks about, whatever. He makes a couple little jokes there. And then they kind of pull that guy off, and then he goes out in like the vestibule of the Comedy Store, and then he gets tased, like security tases him, and Mark Norman talks about something, he's getting tased, and then they pull Mark Norman off stage, and he doesn't come back. They're like, hey, come with us. But then the lady goes up on she's like, oh, everybody gotta leave, and she basically causes a panic, and then the other guy's like, hey, it's fine, don't panic, everybody just go. But it was pretty wild.
Why the fuck did they clear out the club?
It was a very, very weird thing. Everybody was kind of like, what the fuck happened? Mark Norman was on TMZ. TMZ got a hold of it. It became a big viral sensation. Mm-hmm. So it was addressed in basically the next night. The next night, Mark Norman was on stage, and people were like, hey, what the fuck happened, Apparently, it was like a company reached out to him about going viral. And he was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And then he found out about how much money he was going to be making or something like that.
Well, I think we got to address, I was on TMZ yesterday. Yeah, that was dumb. Some company hit me up. They're like, we want to go viral. So they said, you'll do a show. Something weird's going to happen, but we don't want to tell you what, and then you just react to it. I was like, it doesn't sound like my thing. And they were like, here's how much money you'll be making. And I was like, do you need to tase me? I'll wear blackface, whatever you want. I'm in, So I did a show, and a guy walked on stage, And that was about it. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, this is crazy. I tried to make a joke. Hey, is this where we're putting the migrants? Hey, all right, yada, yada, jute tunnel, whatever. And then the security guard goes, come on off stage. And I walked off stage and then I left. Some lady was filming on her phone in the front row and she just got the last of it. So the whole thing was like, what the hell happened? He got pulled off stage, holy shit. People are like, is this a Chappelle tackle moment? Is this a Chris Rock slap? I'm like, no, this is more of a Jussie Smollett, you know?
So a company got in touch with this guy to make a scene.
Yep. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's basically like, hey, we'll help you go viral or whatever, and you know we'll pay you. Like they were paying him to help him go viral. So I mean, I get it. In Mark Norman's mind, it's a win-win. It's like, hey, yeah, we're viral comedy. Hey, yeah.
Was Mark involved?
He was involved in the sense that I guess he agreed to it. You know what I mean? But he didn't know what was going to happen or when or why. It was just, hey, we're going to help you go viral. We're going to pay you money. Again, this is from Mark Norman's own mouth. I mean, I'm going to put a clip up of it. So, you know, Mark Norman, I guess, he went along with it, and this was, I guess, their thing. And it went viral. I mean, fucking fair enough.
For all the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons. And I don't know. I guess there was some sort of an MDA or NDA or whatever, and, you know, Norman basically says on stage, like, hey, you know, once the check clears, I can release this or whatever. Like, he was basically waiting to get paid. Very odd. I mean, for somebody that's got a really successful podcast, is a very successful comic, I think he's hilarious. I love Mark Norman.
He is one of the best. Like, fucking wide. It's some juvenile shit.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I think the fact that he came out and was so honest with the situation shows that he really doesn't understand the publicist side of things, the viral sensation side of things. Mm-hmm. He can go viral with anything. I mean, he could go viral with a crowd show clip. Wow, alcohol's really affecting me here. He could go viral with that. You know, he doesn't have to rig up something. But
that sounds like something like a comic who sucks and is trying to stay relevant would do. Mark doesn't need to do this.
Let's see what Cat Williams has to say about it. Cat? Yeah, that motherfucker. All right. Now, yeah. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. I think there had to have been a misunderstanding between him and this company. He's on stage to perform. He's getting paid to be there. He doesn't want that to happen. And I think him coming out the very next night and addressing it shows that he was being as transparent as he could be. I have respect from that standpoint that he came out and he was but what else was there to say? It was like, what, was the guy a terrorist? Did he have a bomb? What the fuck was the guy doing? He just came up on stage and stood there.
And like, what are those people who came to see Mark Norman thinking?
They're a bunch of New Yorkers. Who gives a fuck? No, I'm kidding. No, it does. It sucks. I mean, you go to see a show, you pay money. I don't know when this happened during the show, but yeah, I mean, New York's expensive anyway. I mean, I'm sure they didn't have to pay for parking. Most of them probably walk to the show, but yeah, I don't know what the ticket costs. I'm sure it's, you know, a fucking 3-drink minimum sort of bullshit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember like 10, 15 years ago when I went to see Brian Regan, tickets were like $65 plus like 2 items.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure when my wife was in New York, she went to AMDA, the American Music Dramatic Academy. Actually, before she went there, we went to a comedy show. I swear to God, we saw Sebastian Maniscalco, like way back early in the day. And he kind of bombed a little bit. He was kind of bombing. He did do a thing about ladies, when you're in an airplane, your vagina's flying. I don't know. They all laughed. They were cracking up at that, including my wife and mother-in-law. I don't understand it, but it was. And he kind of picked on my father-in-law too, because he's
like we
he's
get
Sicilian,
it. You're Italian.
Well, he's Sicilian, my father-in-law, but he kind of has that. Mm-hmm. This is probably like a little while after 9/11, so he kind of had that look.
I mean,
My father-in-law just stared him down.
That's Sebastian Maniscalco's act. Shit.
Have you been drinking?
Yes. What the fuck did you put in here?
It's vodka.
Ugh. So, Sebastian's whole act is, I'm Italian, right?
Yeah, but so is Dom Herrera, and I love it, because I'm Italian. Aren't you embarrassed? I fucking love it, dude. What am I, Donna? But I fucking love Dom Herrera, too. He's so good.
Yeah, he is.
I'm jealous of Steve Rinaldi getting to fucking spend all that time with him, honestly. But Steve Rinaldi's funny as shit, too. The good Italian comics. I love it. See, Italians, we're fucking prideful. We're for everyone, even if we're fourth generation, and we use jar sauce.
Oh, I'm a mutt. I'm a failed social experiment. My dad's side is Jewish.
Of course he is.
My mom's side is from Mississippi.
Yeah, that makes fun. That's a fun thing.
And none of them are really prideful about their ethnicity. Like some on my mom's side,
For some reason, I just can't see like down south like lighting the menorah. I don't know why.
They keep that shit secretive too.
It's hard to light a menorah when you're on a riverboat. You know what I mean?
Oh man, when you're in Alabama, you have to catch a podcast of shul, going to shul. I think that's what you call it. I'm not a good Jew.
Shul? Temple,
yeah.
Temple University, Temple T, Temple alum right here.
Yeah, you have to catch something on YouTube if you're a Jew in Alabama.
Catch something on YouTube if you're a Jew in Alabama. Am I missing something?
Like the catch Jew church.
Oh, I gotcha. You ever go catfishing?
No.
You never put your arm in a fucking hole and just see what bites onto it?
I'm not
like
very
Vince McMahon.
I'm not very adventurous, so any body of water that I was going to go into, I needed a guarantee that there weren't alligator, snakes, any kind of creepy crawlies.
Really, the person that's never had a sip of alcohol, smoked a cigarette, done any drugs is not adventurous? I can't believe it. Not to say that putting substances in your body is being adventurous. I mean, he could have gone spelunking.
Is that going down in the caves?
It's actually anal sex. It's, yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, spelunking is when you you go dive into a cave.
No, hell no.
That shit is wild, dude.
I am very afraid of flying things like bats.
They basically do the squirrel suit sort of a thing down into the cave. How do you even know there's an exit? I guess they know, but I mean, it's easy enough to get stuck and then.
Oh, I
remember the kids that were stuck. What were they? The Boy Scout troop or some shit. What was all those kids that were stuck in that cave? They made a movie about it. The water had to, the water was going up, and then they had to go in when it was low tide and get the kids, and they rescued 11 kids and
I have never heard about that, but
fuck.
My asshole's a little tight right now.
There's a movie about it. I remember tracking that story. It was
I will never watch 126 hours or 128 hours with the dude where James Franco has to cut his arm off.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that. It's fucking wild.
No.
Here's what it is: Thailand cave rescue. Yeah, that was in 2018. 12 kids, or 12, kids 11 to 16, and then their 25-year-old coach. Yeah, that's what it was. It was like a soccer team or some shit in Thailand, and they went to go in this cave, and then they got stuck there because the water started coming up.
Oh God.
Yeah, fucking terrifying. And then the divers, I think there was one diver that died. He came out of retirement to go in, and he ended up dying. But they had to have a very strategic plan to go in and get them out, and then they basically got them all out. They saved everybody except the one diver ended up dying. Fucking wild.
I have a lot of fears. I'm very afraid of heights.
Yeah.
I don't like small spaces. Yesterday, I was at an open mic in Phoenixville, and they had to move us to a smaller room than the small room we already use.
Oh yeah.
I swear it took me 20 minutes to just go and sit down.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not claustrophobic. I can kind of muscle my way through it, but yeah, I mean, who wants to be in a tight space? I mean, that's not fun. I mean, if I were stuck in an elevator for an extended period of time, yeah, I'd probably start to freak out.
I think it's more just being around too many people.
There's a story. This happened recently. We talk about aerial stuff a lot too, because the airplane stuff's been absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Did you see there was this these group of people? They were stuck in an airplane for 4 hours without the ventilation, and the dude opened the fucking emergency door and walked out onto the wing, and all the people were signing witness statements saying yeah, this guy saved our lives. It was stifling hot and blah. Basically he had the consent of everybody in the plane. Yeah, dude, go open the door. Let's go. Let's go fuck. And
yeah, I heard about that. I don't know what happened to the guy. I hope the passengers all gifted him gift cards. I used gift one too many times.
If anything, it's pretty easy to put a GoFundMe together for this guy. But as long as he's not thrown in jail. But I mean, they love throwing people in jail. We know that.
Oh, the TSA, they love their power.
Oh, for sure. He'll probably get fucking raped with $100,000 fine or some shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know if there's going to be any actual jail time. Because if he actually has that. So the cave diving, there's a movie, 13 Lives is what it's called. Yeah, that's I actually want to check that movie out. I've been saying that for a long time. I probably still won't. It's been 2 years that it's been out, and I haven't seen it. So,
what else am I? I was afraid of a lot of things as a kid, having sensory issues.
I thought you were about to say having sex.
Believe it or not, no.
No, it's fine with that.
Just
Father Mackenzie.
My dad's compressor, he had an industrial sized compressor. I could not go into the garage until it stopped compressing air.
Those are loud, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of shit. My kids are the same way. They don't like the loud noises. It's not good for them, even though they can scream at the top of their lungs.
Fireworks. It took me until my 20s to enjoy fireworks.
You know what? I used to love fireworks. Then I had 2 kids. Now I fucking hate fireworks. And where I live, people are setting off fucking fireworks this part
way
of the
too
world.
Much, dude. We got people who are fireworks enthusiasts.
Yeah, it's insane. It is nice. We can get pretty good fireworks now in Pennsylvania.
Now you don't have to go to Delaware or Maryland.
But that also pisses me off. Because when I was young and growing up, all we could get were fucking sparklers and snakes and bullshit fountain fireworks that didn't even leave the fucking ground. And now that I have 2 kids that are trying to sleep through the night, people are setting off fucking mortars that literally sound like World War III is starting in our backyard.
Yeah, let's recreate, an artillery blast from 1830.
It's literally, there's not even a fucking flash in the sky. It's just the noise. It's just the mortar to make noise. I don't understand that. That's just to piss off your neighbors. If you're doing that, America, brother! I guess I can't be that mad, but stop it. No, stop it. It's annoying.
If you're doing that and you don't have there's not a special occasion, mm-hmm. I hope your water heater breaks and your dog shits in your favorite pair of shoes.
Here's the problem, though, is like they buy their fireworks like right before, they buy on Memorial Day, right? So we got Memorial Day, then you got July 4th. So then they're setting off fireworks right before, like that, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we can't wait till the weekend. And then Wednesday and Thursday our fireworks are going off. Why? What are you doing?
I got to get up in the morning, you cunt.
That's annoying as shit. That drives me fucking nuts.
Where I live, I like to play a special game every once in a while. Is it fireworks or is it gunshots?
Yeah. That's a fun game. I've played that a little bit too. What does it usually end up being?
Gunshot.
I like to play a game. It's called Do More People Die on July 4th or Do More People Die on Juneteenth?
Juneteenth.
It's always Juneteenth. Always Juneteenth!
Stay out of Atlanta on Juneteenth.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. On a day where, like, the entire fucking United States is setting off fireworks. Not that many people die. But on Juneteenth, a lot of people die. It's like Planned Parenthood fucking runs wild that day. Jeremy's keeping his mouth shut on this one. Bring it back to the Jews, Jeremy. Go ahead.
You want to freak out?
Freak out.
An 85-year-old Southerner?
Yeah, let's do it.
Just tell him that Obama's running for a third term. You want to freak?
He just had his third term. It's coming to an end right now.
You want to freak out an 85-year-old Jew?
Yes.
Just show him a picture of a boxcar.
And on that note, we're going to do one more of these. I know last episode I did this, but we're shooting these all on the same night, so I'm not a total alcoholic. But we're back.
No, you're not leaking this time.
I now see that was the first time I ever did it. Now I learned. You live and you learn.
You're a pro.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the show. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm Andrew G.
I'm Jeremy H.
And I'm doing a shotgun.
Sorry, I'm a lightweight.
We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching The Jeremy and Andrew Show. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. New show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.